Hey guys, my name is Dan. This is part 2 of operators filter functions, and this is going to be about the envelope. And so anyways, the envelope, as some of you may know, maybe most of you, you got the attack, decay, and release, right? Within this envelope, there's also an option to loop it with either just a free timed, which is under the loop setting, and then a beat timed, which is going to be going to correspond to the beats per minute of your mix, and then the sync, which is going to restart the envelope whenever you start playing your mix, and then the trigger, which just is basically a one shot, and then the none option, which is just there's no cycling or repeating of the envelope sequence. All right, one thing that I actually just discovered that should have been in the last video that I want to mention real quick is the filter type. And like I said in the last video, the clean is the type that you find in EQ8, and there's nothing really new there. But in the OSR one, when you bring your resonance over 100%, it keeps amplifying any residual pitches or harmonics, and after you know, if there's any notes that, because I have my oscillator set up to release on the release time to still play and fade, so that under the OSR, the resonance will amplify that release. Let's turn the envelope off. So you heard that little something at the end there? I'll add it a resonance at 102. If I bring it below 100%, it sounds pretty much normal, like what the clean does. Bring it way above 100%. So if there's any sound at all still playing, it wants to amplify it, and it's kind of a cool effect. Anyway, so I thought I'd show that real quick. Okay, so now onto the envelope. Put this back to clean. And so we got the ADSR, which is pretty self-explanatory. Attack, decay, sustain, release. So you can set each of these parameters to affect the filter function to behave how you would like. Mind you, the envelope has to be turned on for it to have an effect on the filter. You can also have it to a negative parameter, and basically the negative just affects the filter the opposite way. All right, so the attack, you can time. Let's see, we're bringing this free. So the low, when the numbers are down low, when the sustain's at 0%, it corresponds to where you previously had set the filter. When the points are high, as in the peak for the basically the attack, that it opens the filter back up. You know, and then and each of these is timed in milliseconds, and actually the attack can go up to 20 seconds, which is kind of crazy long. The decay can go up to 60 seconds, which is just kind of insane, really. And the release time can go up to 60 seconds as well, which is bizarre. So, a lot of options there. So, fourth and fourth width, once you go down here and you got some looping options. The loop here, just the plain loop, is an open-ended loop. And then next to the loop here, there's a time. So this sets the global cycle of the loop for the filter envelope, which is to say that if you have, let's say you have your time up to I don't know, a little over a second, but you have your attack and decay occurring over a second, that cycle is going to try to repeat itself before the filter the filter envelope is done completing its cycle. And if you're trying to, so basically your main loop is, let's put it at 1 second, and then have your your attack and decay is, let's say, under a second, quarter a second, or half a second. Let's make it. So it'll sit there until the time of the main loop is up, and then it'll start again. So if you have your attack, or if you have your envelope over the time that you set your loop for, I guess it supersedes the time of the loop. So, and then, so basically there's just, you're just working with cycles. And what's really cool, the other way though that it doesn't, I found, work really well, is if you have your time set at a second and then you try to bring it in, your attack and decay in too quickly, it won't follow that quickly. It won't be able to follow it. So you notice it's like just kind of, it's stuck. It can't loop any quicker than the global time that you set it for. So now, if you put it down to 0.2 milliseconds, which is insanely quick, now you can get your filter envelope to cycle really quickly. Like that. All right, so notice that there's the attack, decay, and release the parameters down here. There's also slope parameters. If you click on the points between the attack and decay and release, sustain and release, you'll have these slope parameters, and those are there so that you can automate those parameters if you'd like, as well as the other parameters. So that's a little difference that happens when you click on the user interface. Should be noted. So you can mess around with it, and it's kind of a cool thing. All right, so now to the beat section, and there's beat and sync here. Basically, the differences between beat and sync is beat is going to be it's basically like an LFO, and you can set it to be 8th notes, 16th notes, down to 1/48th notes. I was kind of thinking, like, if it's going to do 1/48th, why doesn't it just do 1/64th? Because that'd be more of an even subdivision of 4/4 time than 1/48th really would be. But anyway, so that's the options that Live gives you, and I'm not sure how to enter in that parameter. Shift click. There we go. So it'll follow this cycle in time in accordance to the BPM that you have your whole mix set at, and the sync will re-trigger the volume envelope to be in time with your mix once you start playing your mix. So notice I brought the decay too long. It completes the cycle too quickly for the parameters to get low enough for there to be a perceivable difference in your filter. So you'll have to make sure that your filter is able to be perform a perceivable difference in the time that you are setting the cycle for. All right, now the trigger. The trigger's a little bit different. It's basically like a one-shot, and it's a lot like the It's a lot like the not option for no cycles, except for it does cycle with the... Actually, it doesn't cycle, that's right. But for some reason, it will follow up the release time of the envelope, even though you still have the key held down. So that's and then notice on when I have the loop set to no cycles or no trigger, it'll follow back up the release time. So it's kind of cool. So the trigger is just basically it follows the envelope and all the way through the release, even though the note's still playing. So that's the difference between that. All right, I think that's just about it. There is one last thing, and that is the time velocity value. And if you have that all the way to the positive 100%, if you hit the key softly, if you hit it real softly, the time goes really slow. If you hit it hard, it quickly it accelerates the time of the cycle. So real hard hit, real quick time, soft hit, it slows down. So that's what this little time velocity deal is, and it can go negative as well. So if I hit it soft, it'll go quick. Hard. It's really slow. It's so slow that it's going to take more time than necessary to demonstrate its effect. And so you don't have to have a loop selected for the time velocity parameter to have an effect on the filter envelope. Alrighty then, I think that's just about it. I'm going to mess around here just a little bit more with stuff and end the video that way. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button. Lets me know that maybe I'm doing somewhat of a good job. Maybe if you don't hit it, I'll do a better job. And but hopefully you'll subscribe, and that'll motivate me to at least keep making more videos. So appreciate you guys' time. Have a good day. All right. Thanks.